Now we're going to combine some things from previous lessons. In the example program in this lesson, we draw some figures on the screen and let them be moved by the mouse from place to place inside the window. This is drag and drop. The things we're going to drag and drop are elliptical shapes. Now this class implements both the mouse listener and the mouse motion listener interfaces because we're going to need to know a lot about what the mouse is doing. The first thing that happens in this constructor is that the address of this object is added to the list of the ones that will be notified about the activities of the mouse. Now this is a new object to you. It's actually a parent class of some of the classes we've already looked into, and we're going to be looking closer at them later, but it has some characteristics that make it very useful for what we're going to be doing. The thing it does very nicely is make it easy to detect whether a point is contained inside it, and we'll be doing that here in just a minute. Now the area class is the parent class of the float version of the ellipse 2D object. So we're about to assign all the new ellipse objects to the array of references. These are the ellipses that will be moved around the screen. An affine transform is constructed. It'll be used later. Now there are lots of ways to show that things are moving, but this program draws things with a dashed line as they're being dragged about. The loop at the top of the paint method draws all of the area objects. One of the handy characteristics of an area object is that it contains its own X and Y locations, and the draw method will put it there. Now if one of the shapes is being moved, the Boolean value of moving will be true, and the one being moved will be identified by the value of moveIndex. The affine transform is installed into the graphics 2D object, so anything that's drawn will be transformed to a new location before it's drawn. And the setStrokes method is called, so everything drawn will be done with a dotted line. If the mouse moved method is called, it means that the mouse is moving but no button is being held down, so no dragging is taking place. Setting moving to false is probably unnecessary, but it's sort of a safety thing. The test at the top of the mouse drag method makes certain that something is being moved. It's perfectly possible to be holding a button down and moving the mouse, but nothing is being dragged because the whole thing started in the wrong place. If dragging is underway, the new X and Y points are used to adjust the affine transform, so it will translate things to their new position by translating the correct distance and direction from the original mouse-pressed location. Finally, repaint is called, so the new position will be displayed. The mouse-pressed method is probably a little too simple because it doesn't limit the dragging to any one particular button. But that would be easy enough to do. All you need to do is check which button it is and skip the whole thing if it doesn't apply. Anyway, if moving is underway, it's turned off before we get started. This could be out in the middle of nowhere and no dragging could take place. Then this method gets the X and Y points of the mouse and checks to find out whether one of these is inside one of the draggable areas. If it is, we have an area and a starting point for the drag. The dragging flag is set to true, and the affine transform is set to not move anything. The only thing left is to handle the situation when the mouse button is released. If the mouse is released while something is being moved, then the affine transform is used to permanently move that area to its new location, and all moving is turned off. The rest of the mouse events are ignored because they don't have anything to do with dragging. Now here's how it works. Now, here are the 4 ellipses in their original position. Each one can be dragged to another location. Notice that the position of the mouse is relative, so you can grab any point in a shape and it will follow the mouse. Now there's something else you need to think about when dragging. If you drag something outside the window, it will go there because this program still responds to all the movements and follows the mouse wherever it goes. It's normal to test for something being dropped outside the window and cancel the dragging. But here it is, right where I put it.